Well, the drug crisis in San Francisco is a disaster in plain sight and only seems to be getting worse. According to the medical examiner's office, accidental overdose deaths surged to a record high of 806 last year, most of them involving fentanyl. Not surprisingly, the city's drug policies have become a hot topic in the upcoming mayoral election. Wilson Walker was there as several candidates joined people marching on the streets, calling for solutions.
When I say recovery, y'all say works. Recovery. Works. Recovery. Works.
Raised on Eddie and Taylor, moved over to the Soma, have been raised there. This is part of my community, and we want to see a change. We want to see a difference.
Crystal Morales, one of those who showed up to march through the Tenderloin as part of a call for changes in this neighborhood.
We want a safe community for our children. We want a safe community for our families, and we want those that need help and need assistance to get that help, assistance, and care.
March was organized by the city's recovery community, which for several years now has been pushing for different approaches, tougher approaches, on the city's fentanyl crisis.
Because you know what? Harm reduction, from my perspective, is not reducing the harm. It is making things far worse.
Mayor London Breed joined the crowd on the steps of City Hall, but just 2 hours earlier, one of her challengers declared this issue a failure of leadership.
From out-of-control spending on nonprofits that have failed to deliver results, to the unwillingness to take on bureaucracy at City Hall that is fundamentally failing San Franciscans.
Daniel Lurie rolled out a 6-point plan for what he calls the demand side of the drug problem. It is a new system for pushing those in trouble towards help faster, with no allowances for staying on the street.
We will introduce a deflection program to incentivize individuals to seek treatment or face arrest.
Now, the mayor was asked about Lurie's comment, and she seemed to include recent mayoral race entry Mark Farrell in her response.
Where have they been? Where have they been? They've not been. This is not a new issue. This has been going on for a long time. They were nowhere to be found during the pandemic, and quiet around issues related to important things, and surprise, they put out something and they've had nothing to do with it.
So with the election more than 250 days out, the discussion is already taking shape. Who has the answers for the problems that have cost so many lives, vexed the city, and frustrated so many residents?
It's going to take patience, and it's going to take showing up, and it's going to take coming together to really be a community that believes in the same voice and that believes in the same goal.
All right, now we have Breed, Lurie, Farrell, and Supervisor Asha Safai, who actually joined in the march today. Now, the biggest, most obvious question in San Francisco politics for some time now has been who could possibly join the race as the self-declared progressive, sort of against that block of candidates, especially on an issue like this one where there's such a range of opinion on how to proceed. That is a big question going ahead. The filing deadline for the mayoral race, May 5th.
And San Francisco city leaders are seeking solutions. The mayor and DA are forming a law enforcement task force to investigate opioid deaths as homicide cases. Voters will also get to weigh in on Mayor London Breed's ballot measure to require drug screening for some welfare recipients. The CHP and National Guard are also cracking down on drug trafficking in parts of the city. In the meantime, one San Francisco official wants to use a new tool to track down and track drug use statewide. Assemblymember Matt Haney proposed legislation that would require wastewater to be tested for fentanyl, meth, and other drugs. The results would be reported to the state public health department, and they're still working on the details.